Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I've had problems with my memory on my computer, not in my head. And I do believe that has lots to do with Mercury retrograde, but I did figure it out. So thank you for being here. I am the High Priestess Oracle. This is what I do. I am an intuitive. I am a medium. I am a true empath. And I use the cards as a tool to assist me with the messages that come from my spirit guides. Now, my spirit guides will collectively reach out to spirit guides within the community, and they will all give me the messages that are relevant. And that's how the community works. And so I have 3 piles today. The first pile is this incredibly, they're all hearts today because I love hearts. Blue stone. It's geode. If you ever cracked a geode, they're super fun. So there is the blue one. The next one is a pink heart. I actually I love hearts. I collect hearts. So there's the pink one. And the final one is the crystal. Now this is a rock crystal from my area, believe it or not. It was found like that, and I absolutely love that crystal. So I also picked 2 cards to go along with these. And the first pile, the 2 cards would be overcoming difficulties and priorities. And so that sort of maybe speaks to you. Pick pile 1. Pile 2 comes with gentleness and nature. So if any of those seem to resonate with you, then pick that. Pile number 2. And pile number 3 is patience and clairaudience. Listen to the messages that you receive. I love that. So I will go further into the explanation about those piles. So if you'd like to put it on pause. Again, if you like my channel, please subscribe, share, and like this video because it does help me out. And in the meantime, we are going to go with pile number 1. And what we're going to do today is I just asked for an open message, and I know how much people love relationship readings. So you know what, life is about love and it's about relationships. So I always include a personalized, not say personalized, a pile personalized messages at the end of the reading. So the first 2 cards from pile number 1 are priorities. And so what you're being asked to do is know what's important. And sometimes you have to say no. It's important to say no for a few reasons. It's important to say no to respect yourself. Be honest with yourself about what you really want in life or right now. It's just sometimes we need to write down everything that we need to do and then release some of the things that just really are taking up space. So get to know what your priorities are, get them straight, and start working on it, because you've come from a place of difficulties. And at this time, you're getting ready to soar. But if you stay stuck in this space of potentially where the difficulties are and don't prioritize, like a priority would be, you know what, I need to release the past. So I need to forgive it. We need to sit with the past. Any areas that need to be healed or such, we can do that. And the other thing that really comes up because of this stone here is, and it looks different on camera, but it is blue. And so this is very much about speaking your truth as well. And so because of the difficulties that you've gone through, I had a long conversation with a friend the other day, and I had been through quite a traumatic situation for the past couple of years. And one of the things I said to her was, I actually was feeling embarrassed about what had happened. And I guess because everybody always saw me as the strongest person that, you know, I've heard that a lot of times. I was strong, I was a leader, all of these things. And I attached myself to that. And when I needed to be weak, I didn't know how to do that. I thought it was a failure. So I had to move past those blockages, what was holding me back, those difficulties, and I needed to prioritize me, what was important in my life and my situation. And in doing so, I could move forward because I was releasing all of that, just all that negativity. And I had lived in such negativity for so long that I almost became, and it's because I did forget who I was. And so once I've learned again who I'm supposed to be, like I knew who I was, so I had to come back to that place. And so I'm very grateful. And that's understanding priorities, what's important to you, not to everyone else around you. We do end up, you know, having to include that because the effects, the cause and the effect. But when we're making ourselves happy, we have core values. Those core values are what you need to stick close to. That's the most important thing, are your core values. What is your core? And getting to know that is getting to know and understand and moving from the difficulties that you may have had in the past. So where you are along your journey at this time is the first card this is the new deck I'm using, and I was given it yesterday, so good luck. I'm going to try my best to work through it, but I loved it. And so I practiced it with a little bit, and we'll see what happens today. Beautiful. So the first card that comes up in the position of what are you suppressing? And the card is of the Four of Cups. Now the Four of Cups, whenever I see this, especially in the position of what you're suppressing, it means that you're being, I'm going to say, childish. You're looking at the past and seeing what you lost or what you gave up or what you didn't, blah, whatever, all of those things. Yet, Spirit is saying, if you can forgive and release and heal and clean and all of that, you'll be able to see what is being offered. That's when the offer comes in. But you're too focused on the wrong, or perhaps how you've been wronged. And that's the overcoming of difficulties. That's the first step is, yeah, maybe in the past things have happened. So what? So what? Everything happens to people all the time. So take the time to get out and to understand what your values are. Start talking to Spirit and visualizing, seeing what you truly want. So the next two cards are the yin and the yin and the yang. Okay, so this is where you, sorry, I have to close this door. So where the balance comes within this, and because these two next to cards are what balances, and you've been really caught up in your emotional struggles, and that's that whole part of priorities and stepping out of that. I talk a lot about stepping outside of the ego. What I have had to journey through for myself for the last year was stepping outside of my emotions and understanding how my emotions were playing on certain things that were happening within my life. And with that, I learned more about myself, where they were coming from. And that's exactly what's happening here. The first card is, this is much about self-love. I'm just going to say that right off the bat, is the Five of Cups. And the Eight of Cups. Sorry, I looked at that. I have not seen this deck before, so I apologize. So this is about what is realizing that you may have had to walk away or turn away or let something go so that you could rebuild and find yourself again. See, it's seeing the illusions within the love situation, and it doesn't necessarily even have to mean relationship, but just the love all around you. But you've had to walk away, and in walking away doesn't mean you're never going to experience again. That's what it's about. It's about going on a journey, this journey deep within yourself, understanding the illusions that all of the lessons, I like to say some of the lessons that we've gone through, but it turns out that it's all of the lessons, that's just the reality, are to teach us, to move us forward. So what you're not seeing is that walking away, you thought you've lost love. So it's very interesting that the Four of Cups has three cups standing and the one being offered, and the Five of Cups has three cups fallen over. So that's what this is about, is taking those past, relationships, whether it be with friends, whether it be with work, or whether it be in a love relationship, taking that, understanding why you had to walk away, because you were walking away from you. So finding you again is what's going to open up this energy and clarify and clear and move you forward. So the next card that comes up is the card in the position of the meditation card. Woo! Nice card. Beautiful card is the card of the Hierophant. And the Hierophant, the counterpart is the High Priestess. So honestly, this card in the meditation position, this is connecting to your higher self. Our higher self, I asked at one point, I remember in a class, and I said to people, they always say, listen to your higher self. And I said, does anybody really understand or know who our higher self is? Well, my explanation for that question is that our higher self is our self outside of the ego. It's from that place of love and deep intuition, because it's always connected to the divine, from our 8th chakra, our star chakra, that is connected to the divine and grounded in the earth. So the Hierophant, when you go into meditation, it's really important to connect, to spend that time and connect, to clear, to get honest, truthful, I'm going to say advice, because that's what they're telling me, but that advice is to open up your intuition, because the truth is that is within you. So you have to clear all of that out when you're in meditation. And they're saying, once you've done that, ask for your guide to come through. Whether you have a community, I'm not sure, everybody's different. We all have the community, and we all have attachments to spirits, but everybody has different counsel, and is here for different reasons. So we need to connect with our counsel, with our higher self, and stepping outside of that ego, because you are here to gain that knowledge of being able to completely trust that intuition, that ability to know that the decisions that you made were the decisions that had to be made, that brought you to here right now in this place in time. And it's time to begin to live in the moment, for the moment, making sure that each and every moment counts. And that means being accountable for every single moment. Okay, good or bad, being accountable for every single moment. So the next 3 cards, the first card is the card in position of your, wow, this is beautiful, of your body. And that says of the 6 of Pentacles. So you are now finally coming in a position. And what Spirit just said, it's quite interesting, because this is a position of giving. It's giving to the less fortunate. Say that's what the picture depicts. Now, there's a balance scale on there. So that says to me there has to be a balance. So basically there's a couple of messages that are just throwing at me. One is that to balance out as you become prosperous, or, you know, gain something, have the awareness that we need to give back to. And you always have to do that from the heart and from your intuition. It's not out of fear. It's not out of like the fear of God. If you don't give, you know, whatever, you know, certain churches are really, you have to do this, you have to do that. You don't. Give what you can, but you'll be in that position to see how it feels. Okay, Spirit just said that part of your journey was to understand how that did feel to be in that position and to understand the support. And so that's why as you're moving forward is to understand the gratitude, understand the authenticity, the clarity that comes through when you give from the heart and not because somebody told you or because somebody, you know, that's part of your value system. And that's why we're going back to our values. So you're going to be in a position, no matter, somehow it's going to be made available to you so that you are in a position to give back. Okay. And that's what's going to open you up to receiving more and more and more, because that justice scale is balanced. It is so balanced. And it's, I don't know, there's something different about this, but almost like there's such a gratitude within this card, because it's this connection that you're making with these, that's what it's about. Okay, so it's about the connections that you're making with people. These may be people within your community that are here to help you along your journey to understand yourself better. The next card is the card of your noggin. Wow. Okay. It's the 10 of Swords. And so again, and that's right above the Hierophant. And below that is that, I keep saying the weeping, the childish person. So in regards to your mind, is your mind is encompassed, encapsulated by all of these decisions that you felt you weren't accountable or responsible for, but you allowed. So that does make you accountable. And I'm not talking on at all levels, and I hope you understand that. Like, I'm not saying that if something terrible happened to you, you deserve that or you willed it into your way. I'm not saying that at all. But decisions that were made, it's like our childhood, some of our decisions we make as we get older, we make them out of fear, or we make them because that's what we believe we deserve. And that's what you're releasing, is having others make decisions for you. It's now time to get up, because this is 10 goes into the new beginning of making the decisions. So it's clearing your mind of what past decisions were, I'm going to say, put upon you that you need to release. Okay. And the card in position of your heart is the card of the Emperor. So whether you're female or male, there's a lot of male energy in this this card. First of all, there's the Hierophant, and then there's the Emperor. So this is, the Emperor is, to me, or for me, is the position of Spirit. Spirit just said truth and justice and honesty. It's the father figure. It's the within your heart, it's allowing in, seeing a brand new truth about what you've experienced. And I'm going to go back to that shadow side of the moon, is that perhaps what you experienced, you're now having to look at completely differently. And it may have been how you were raised, may have been how you were, and seeing that you were raised, there's a kindness, yet a sense of not being good enough or worthy enough. And so Spirit is saying you need to release all that baggage, all those swords, all those wounds, and stand in your truth, or sit in your truth and acknowledge and be the person that you know you can be, that person that you want to be, that you live to be. And perfect. So the final card that comes up in this part of the reading is the Ace of Cups. Completely, totally makes sense, because this journey is leading you towards self-love. That's what this is all about. And, you know, seeking higher guidance, but this is self-love outside of what other people, codependency. Basically, we can be codependent, not just within a relationship with a partner, but we can be codependent with other people, having them to say, you know, you're wonderful, you're pretty, you're blah, all those different things that you need to own on your own, to know your value, to love yourself. First of all, like who you are, and it's what is going to bring in all of those wishes and dreams, and, you know, the pathway that you want to move forward. That's what's going to bring the movement, is as you release the baggage, as you release the trauma, you will open up to self-love, and it's a process. So take your time on that process and discover who your truth and your value. So I'm going to pick 3 of these cards, and this is my deck, and it's called the Spirit Deck of Authenticity, and so I know it quite well. So first 2 cards, wow. Okay, again, with the moon and then the owl. So there's this, right now you are on this journey. It's the shadow side and your reveal side. The shadow side is the wisdom of the owl, and the reveal side is the wisdom of the wolf. And so it kind of speaks to what exactly we were talking about, but the wisdom of the owl is all about intuition. So you're not utilizing that huge gift that is within us all. And so to clear out, get back to that space where we trust ourselves, where we trust what we're saying, where we trust what we're doing, and where we're going. The wisdom of the wolf is knowing and understanding is that you are greater than the whole. Each wolf knows its role within the community. Each wolf takes responsibility and accountability for themselves as well as the community. And so this is about you restoring your dignity, walking with pride, understanding your intelligence, and that where most of your intelligence, I don't know if this makes sense, where most of your intelligence comes from is from your intuition. So the card that represents yourself in this is, again, it's very masculine, dominant energy, and it is the warrior of water. So I think at this time, whether you're male or female, but this is very masculine in revealing that some of you, it's the word soften. I can't understand what the word, but your heart has to soften, your emotions have to soften. That's what, and then allow the flow, and it's like come and go and stop hanging on to things. But the warrior of water is extremely intelligent, and he can almost, okay, Spirit just says he can almost walk on water. And I think they're saying that metaphorically, because that the water, they can walk through that flow of emotions. They can understand, and then they can calm that flow of emotion. And that's what's necessary at this time for you in your journey, is to calm that flow of emotion in a very masculine manner, in a manner that is going to reveal your truth and reveal your leadership, accountability, and role. So the final card, of course, is the is the lesson at this time is wholeness. And that's what you're going for, is the wholeness, is bringing it all together, because you've lost, I'm not saying you've lost using your intuition. I'm not saying you've lost your intuition, because it never goes away. It's just rediscovering and understanding that intuition. And that's what's necessary at this time. So that's where you're at and what you need to learn at this time. So I'm going to now go into the, okay, now it's got to come up. The relationship part of the reading. So if you don't, want to know about, and when I do a relationship reading, have somebody in mind that you're thinking of, and that's who's we're going to talk about. So the first card that comes up is the card of this could be the one. And what that basically is saying is you've met your partner already. And again, we're going back to your cards that we're displaying and saying, cups fell over, but there's another cup being offered. But until you open yourself up to self-love, you can't see that. And you need to be able to see that. You need to be able to live that. Okay? And the card in the challenge position, wow, is it's safe to love. And, with all of the cards that revealed were before, you have to open your heart fully, and you have to come to that place of self-love, because if you cannot love fully, you cannot experience the fullness of love, and you cannot give the fullness of love. And you want to be whole. That's why the major lesson is wholesome, is to be a wholeness, be all together, mind, body, spirit. Stay within that place. So the final card in this position is Setapropriat, is new love. And so this isn't saying that, it could be for some saying that a new love is on the horizon, but that new love could be a renewal of a love, or it's just things that are new, but bringing into your life that which you so want. So it could be a new love, and it could be a rejoining of a partner that comes in because you have transformed and you have changed who you are, and what you truly want. So from the Hermit Tarot, oh my gosh. So whoever you're thinking about, their message is, I lie awake thinking about our future. And so the next the next message is, I'm a very jealous person. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they always are, but I think at this point, this person that keeps trying to offer you, they as well may not know what to do. They also may not feel safe to love, or could be, watching your social media and really be confused. And so they become very jealous. And that's not about you. And that's jealousy is also not about love. That's why we go back to the self-love. So that's the challenge at this point, is stepping outside of that ego self, stepping outside and seeing that jealousy isn't real love, that honesty and truthfulness and awareness of ourselves is true love. And the final message from the Hermit Tarot is light. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. And so this is about shedding new light on, they said this is about shedding new light on an old relationship. So whether I'm not going to say it's new, even though it says new love. I am not going to say that, because what I'm going to say is this is shedding new light on an old relationship. So it's seeing things differently. That's that illusion. But seeing things, how they transpired, how they transformed, accepting your accountability, your responsibility, your role in all that transpired. And so it's just to see that light and allow that light to shine, allow the relationship to blossom. So I'm going to take a couple of messages from, I'm not picking it up, sorry. from my box. I'll take one more. We can get me masculine messages. Nice. So we only got 2 masculine messages. And the first was, okay, so one of their concerns at this time is that they know that they hurt you. And so that may be more what it's about. This jealousy may be about the fact that they know what they've done and they wish that they had the right moves or the right creativity or abilities, but they're working on that, and it's safe to love. And so they don't want to lose you. And it says, you can't read that. I can't lose you. So they are going to work for this relationship. They'll fight for this relationship, but it has to be outside of the ego. They have to be able to see it and and understand the truth of the journey. And interesting, on your side, it's the first card is I tried to distract myself. Now I can relate to that unbelievably. But you know what? Sometimes when things are meant to be, sometimes when things are real, you try, you want to move forward, so you think that's the pathway because it hasn't all worked out. But as you've learned to, like yourself, love yourself, and you see things from a higher perspective, from a different perspective, when you start listening to your intuition, you realize that you were trying to distract yourself and it wasn't working. And the next card is stop thinking about me so much. And again, I can relate. This is almost like these piles are kind of for me, but if you have an awareness of energy, you can feel when people are thinking about you. You can feel their energy, not even in the room. You can feel other people's energies from across the world, from across. Energy is just fluid and fluid, and we can always sense it and feel it. And however, something did happen, and so you wonder whether or not they hate you. So perhaps you did something that might not have been so kind, or you may have, because of that place that you were at, because you didn't love yourself, so you didn't present yourself as the person that you are. The next one is it's always been you. So this person, this light is going to show, and your message to them is, I know I let you down. And it's right there. And that could have been because, well, I believe on both sides, there's been a lot of fear, a lot of unresolved feelings, messages, and such, so that you want to come back to that place of truth and love and honesty. Okay, sorry, gotta get closer. So that's it for group number 1. And so we're going to start with group number 2. Welcome, group number 2. You picked the pink, the pink stone that I love so much. And the 2 cards that came with this are nature and gentleness. So I think that you're needing to get outside and allow the beauty of nature to feed your soul. You may be exhausted, so you need to be gentle with yourself right now, and surround yourself with people, with situations, and get into an environment where people are aligned with you. People are aligned with your sense of calm, or where you need to be, where it's almost as though you're really reconnecting with different sorts of feelings. Nature, when you look around and you see different, you know, things, like just take note and go, wow, how did that make me feel? And we can get messages in that manner too. Okay, I'm going to start the next part of the reading, which is, this is about you, where you're going in your journey. So the first card, wow, that comes in and what you're suppressing is the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands shows that, or tells me in the card of what you're suppressing, or in the position of what you're suppressing, is that the movement is forward. The movement is growing, but whatever, oh my gosh, Spirit just said, understanding, this is the complete readjustment or understanding that thoughts create things, and understanding that your thoughts, your actions, but your thoughts and have to align and match with what you want. But often what you're doing is you're holding yourself back. So you're not being honest. So this is about, you know, being aware and mindful of your thoughts. And once done so, you will start making choices aligned with your values of who you are, and then making the choices and then doing. This is about action. When we talk about wands, wands are about action, and 8 is about a higher learning. So it's going, 7s represent knowledge, so you gain knowledge in 7s, and 8s you gain wisdom. And so it's gaining wisdom, and you're kind of walking away from that because it may seem like a task that's, you know, too much to handle or too hard to handle. But the truth is, how fun is it right now? So start owning or looking at your decisions and seeing if they are aligned with who you are and where you want to go, and then make the decision, like make the choice and do it. Take action. So the cards that, wow, the cards that bring balance and harmony. This is amazing. Sorry, the first card is the 6 of Cups. And the next card is the Magician. So, you know what? Some some piles just come out and they just speak one thing or the next. But this is in relationship. This is about somebody has come into your life or came into your life as not as a child, but when you were younger, and has consistently come in and out of your life, in and out of your life, in and out of your life, but not in any kind of grand way. So you're actually going to be surprised when they actually come into your life, because this is the, you know, you've opened up to taking action rather than being stopped and being fearful. But you've manifested. That's the card of the musician. Magician is that you've manifested. This is a union that is meant to be. And you've clarified, you know, when you're asking for that relationship, for new beginnings, for a love to come in. Know exactly what you want. Not, I'm going to say know exactly what you not want, but not specifically. When we ask for a specific person, that specific person may not be for us. And so we may spend our time just focusing on that. Focus on the fact that you want your twin soul or your soulmate, or, you know, twin soul, twin flame to come into your life to, because you're better together. But what's prevented you from before is thinking, but not taking action. So now it's about action. You're manifesting and it steps forward and you go, whoa, you can't do that anymore. So it's about doing. So the card in position of, oh my gosh, but there will be an offer. The card in position of they just said the romance card, but it's not. The card in position of manifestation is the Page of Cups. And so as it's in meditation, when you are, again, this is, the page is offering. And the page is going to almost ride in, but they're going to come in, you know, very emotionally in love and very emotionally, you know, they're going to speak their truth. They're going to offer. And this is an offer of so much, but, you know, and they are being honest and truthful, but they're a little bit, going to say, I don't want to say naive, but that's shy. Spirit just said shy, a little bit more on that sense. Awkward. Thank you. They're a little bit awkward about it, and that's okay. So because they're just unsure, and so they're taking that chance, taking that leap. In your meditation, what you're needing to do here is that Spirit's saying is that you have to be open up to receive. So when you're meditating, it's not just asking that, you know, Spirit brings you what you want, but actually seeing yourself receiving what you want, that love that you want. Okay, so the next 3 cards are in position of the body, mind, and heart. So the first card in the body position is the 7 of Pentacles. And as I said, the 7s are all about knowledge. So it's understanding knowledge of, you need to plant the seeds and being, you know, cautious and aware and mindful of the seeds that you are planting. And that's what I'm talking about here, about making sure that you are mindful, that you're thinking the right thoughts. So you're planting the right seeds. And so understand how your body feels, what you're doing, what those actions are, and whether or not your your emotions are taking over your doing, your body, you know, forcing you to make that decision. Don't allow that, because you're needing to become really aware and say, do I really want to plant that seed? Is that really the direction that I want to go? I want to plant the seeds of, I want to be prosperous. I want to be abundant. I want to be joyful. I want to be happy. I want to have a great job. I want to, whatever, you know, have a great relationship, and plant those seeds. So, you know, it's about focused and doing. So the card in position of the noggin, your mind, is the 3 of Wands. There's a lot of wands. There's a lot of action. And so when I see this card, this is to me about stability. And within your mind, as you want to start balancing or stabilizing your thoughts and your mindfulness, because you want to be able to look out there and see your truth. And this is, 3s are always about unity. It's a coming together and seeing how you may have separated yourself, but the unity is, or the truth has brought you back to a unity. And for your mind to always answer the question is, does this balance me? Does this bring me in union? Does this align with, you know, body, mind, and spirit? Does this align with, you know, where I want to go with my journey, my soul's journey? And seeing, this is looking out and seeing, there's so much that, oh my God, there's so much that's coming through with this card, but this really is looking out and seeing, and yet being here in the moment, because he's very stabilized. He's not moving, but he's able to see. So that's your mind. So it's, you know, it's really clarifying what's going on in your mind. And right now it's a non-action until, you know, you've learned to understand, to own your choices. Whoa. So the card in position of your heart is the devil, and the devil is all about ego, but the devil in the heart position is also about passion, like extreme passion. And because this card, well, sorry, sometimes it's just the messages, and it can get a little bit frustrating, because I'm doing readings for on a grand scale. So with the devil, this is about, I do believe, an additive, like about right and wrong, and about almost a fear of, is this okay? And it's also because about sexual pleasure. And I think that so much of this comes into account at this point. And so understanding that and knowing it's okay. So just be prepared. So perfect. The final card is the card of the King of Swords. And so I believe from this reading, because I do believe it's much love based, is that somebody is going to make a very firm, knowledgeable, intelligent decision. And that's going to be the result of the changes that are made. You don't make changes, you don't get new results. That is the reality of life. You have to change something in order to achieve new results. So the next cards that come up are the cards, my cards, the Spirit deck of Authenticity. So, and I think the first card in the position of your reveal side is the card of the Crow. Now, crows are extremely ethical, and they work outside of fear. So being in the position of your, I think I said reveal, it's shadow. In the shadow side, it means that you're questioning a lot of your decisions, or questioning the, not the relevance, your trust, the ethicalness. That's, I can't think of another. You're trying to see without fear, but you want to know that it's okay. And it's okay. That's the thing. Well, position shows in the reveal side is the rabbit. So I'm getting that this is so relationship based, and it's so much based on fear and about it's being scared. But you know, when you about scared of being vulnerable. Again, that's the devil card as well, because you're sitting in ego, all, you know, being vulnerable about, you know, aware does take a lot of courage. And so this is about you being creative and being, you know, stepping outside your comfort zone and staying within your truth, your ethical behaviors, your values. That, well, yes, it's understanding this is your major lesson at this time, and it's the card of vibrancy. And it's understanding that what you attract. And so bringing forth what you want. And that's, again, knowing what you want and putting that in your meditation and putting that in your thoughts and keeping your thoughts, you know, where you want them to be mindful, to bring forth. And this, again, is going to have a basis of sexual attraction that comes along with it. So you and this person are having this, you know, relationship that may not even be connected in the 3D right now, but it's definitely connected in the 5D world. And so understand that, know this, and yes, this person they can feel your energy. They're also throwing off. It's the warrior of metal, but they are doing both, as they see your energy and they are throwing off energy, so that it's almost like it's not like they're playing a game, but they're hiding within themselves. And so they have to step outside of that themselves on that level. And so now with romance angel card, so this part is actually about a relationship, and this has been about relationships, so it's very, very, very interesting. And it came with the pink heart, so that actually even makes more sense. So the first card that I get is the card of the honeymoon. And so this is to understand in this state is that there's going to be this phase of pleasure. There's going to be this phase of passion, of compassion, of really getting to know each other. It's like the honeymoon phase. And so it's really to savor and to enjoy every moment, to get to know each other in that manner of togetherness, because it's the, you know, someone that you may have known from your past, that you will have known from your past, and has come in and out, and this is like a new start. So it's like getting to know each other once again. and understanding that, yes, this could definitely be the one. This card came out in the last deck too, but in a different position. But this could be the one. Meaning, and there are 3 spirits above that, or I almost said ghosts. So there are 3 spirits in unity that are bringing this union together. And this card came out in the last deck too. It's understanding that it's safe to love. And so that's what, you know, much of this is going forward is about, is it is safe to love and to give your heart and to receive. So open up to that. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all, and that's the greatest love. And, you know, not all relationship is about love, but relationship is about passion, and it's getting to know one another. And if that is a part of this relationship, that's a part of this relationship, and it's okay. There's a lot of attraction here. So the first card that comes out is, I'm too afraid to talk to you. So that's someone that needs to step out of his, that's what talking, step out. That's where he's, the counterpart is needing to step out of that, being that fearfulness, out of that ego, because they're coming to terms with their own feelings, and they're saying, wait. Well, I agree and I don't agree, meaning that you've waited, and the cards here that we were talking about with that 7 of, or 8 of wands, it's time to take action. So you've waited. So fine, they can say wait. You can say, I could be your hero. And so, sorry, the final card really made me laugh. Say, you know what, I'm done with waiting. I'm done. I'm ready for action. I think that what they're most, the final card is, I'm obsessed with your body. I really believe this person is really coming to terms and understanding their own feelings, their commitment to themselves, but their commitment to their understanding of that passion, that fire within themselves. And so I'm just going to grab a couple messages from my box. I'm not bringing the box up. Oh my God, they have a lot of messages. Opposite of what the last pile got was a ton of messages from the feminine side. So I'm going to read the feminine side first. Wow. Okay. Do you hate me? That's what you would ask them. And I think there's a lot of insecurity that has passed through this relationship. The next card is, it was only a rebound. And you may have, you know, sought them out, and maybe you were in another, however you responded to their request, you perhaps said no or put them down or something, but they may have been, you know, because they're so afraid to talk, you didn't give them the response you want, so you moved on. And so that's for them to understand. And they're saying, I know that I let you down. So I think that they have gone back and are trying to understand and to see what's happened. In the meantime, it says, I haven't forgiven myself. So I think you're both, I think that you're both going through almost the same situation. And the final card is I wish I could tell you the truth. And so that's where we're moving towards, is telling the truth, is seeing, you know, it all in a new light, is seeing it in a new way. And so that the truth is spoken, and that a new beginning is able to transpire, to happen. So that was your reading, group 2, and I'm moving on to group 3. So group 3, welcome, and you were the ones that picked this incredible crystal heart. And the cards were patience and clairaudience. Wow. Okay, so that means that this card, it's not so much about having to be more patient, although I think that was brought up when sorry, I just messed up something. What they're saying is be willing to give up good for great. And really, that's relationship or not. That is always listening. So it's having the patience. That's what fear. That is fear and faith. That's what that's about. Is the ability to pass up the good for great because you know that great exists. Okay, so if you're looking for a better job, if you're looking for new friends, get rid of your old friends that don't serve you. And the clairaudience is at Zadkiel. And so start listening to that inner guidance within yourself. It's telling you the truth. It's telling you which way. It's telling you which way to move, where to go, where you need to go in order to search for whatever you need to search for. So the first card in the position of what you're suppressing, and that's the card of the Seven of Wands. And Spirit just said is put down your wands. This isn't a fight. I think you're fighting something that doesn't exist, and you may be angry right now, very angry actually. So rather than taking positive movement, you're fighting something that really may just really be in your mind. It could be from the past, but it could be from your mind. It's time to let that that wand down. So that's stopping you. All of those things that are, preventing you from living a full life. That's what you're suppressing. So be open up to living the life that you want. So the two cards that, that balance one another, yin and yang, is the Five of Swords versus the World. And the World is one of the most beautiful cards in the deck because the World offers you all of what you want. But you have to be willing to not be angry. You need to be willing to put down the fight and fight for what is important. Fight for, not the little silly fights. Start being conscious of them. And, there is a sense of arrogance that comes with this. I don't know why they just said that, but there is a sense of arrogance. I think that there's a bit of a sense of regret in this card. And so what I'm hearing from Spirit is that this fight that you were on, that some of the decisions that you had made had really turned a lot of people off and understand your role. And so that as you see, you become more aware of your impact on other people, and we are all connected. And so was understanding that, because that's what opens you up to all that you want, all that's available to you, all your wishes, dreams, hopes, all of these things. So rather than being smug about it, really take a look and change what needs to be changed so that you can step into the world that you want to be in. And the card of meditation is the Four of Swords. And that actually just transfers from these past cards into this card. And that is sitting at your decisions. Spirit just said, if you ask, all of these decisions that you need to come to terms with will come to your disposal so that you can dispose of them. But so when you're in meditation, talk to Spirit, ask to go through, ask to be surrounded by light, ask to be surrounded by guidance, by your spirit guides, by your community, so that you can, say your prayers, say your, intentions, whatever your procedure is, so that you can do that, so that you can lay in trust with your decisions, okay? So the card, wow, is wrong. The card in the position of your body is the card of death. And very interesting card in that, oh my gosh, in this position of your body. And it's like a whole rebirth from where you're at. And again, this is much about decision making and opportunity. And this is about you changing. And I have somebody all of a sudden coming forward. It's like, you know what, where you've walked from, what you've done, you need to heal all that to rebirth, to redirect, to regrow, because you'll be offered that, but you need to cleanse and clear your body of all of the negativity and all of that what no longer deserves, what no longer supports you, supports the life that you want to live. And that's the transformation. That's a huge, huge process. I actually went through this process in the last year, and it was tough. It was one that was almost forced upon me. There's not such a thing, but I didn't expect it. I'm grateful, completely grateful. So the card in position of your mind is the card of the Lover. So the second, there are 3 major arcana cards, but it's the card of the Lover. So there really is, in your mind, it's being able to see this, to coming together of a unity of, and this could be, you know, lovers being, it's a commitment. It could be work, it could be familiar, it could be, you know, a relationship, it could be, you know, with your children, but this is about in your head, and it's seeing, when you've seen decisions, when you've seen, this is unifying, this is greater than you think, actually, greater than you're even expecting, the way that you have this ability, I'm going to say, to manifest or to bring people together. And once you become aware that, things change into a different light, into a different way of being, because you're coming just from that place of love. And it's the next card is the card of the hearts. Wow. So very clearly it's the 9 of hearts. So the card of the hearts, this is going to allow you to sit into that, let's see closer, sorry, sit in that glory, in that faith of that transformation of where the world, that the choices that you made, that the decisions, but you'll be able to see how you made decisions that may have knocked you off balance, that now you have the opportunity to balance, and all that you want, you know, to come into your world, is now going to, this period where you're at right now is going to come to an end, and there's new beginnings on, you know, on the horizon. Well, of course, because the final card is the card of the Magician, so that makes us 4. And so exactly what I said in here, it is. And I just knew that Magician card was coming up, because you're going to be understanding exactly how you did manifest. And it doesn't always have to be as, sometimes we think when we manifest, we have to demand, or we have to, I don't know, almost sit in a different light, if that makes sense. Like, I can't say any other way, but sometimes it's easy. I can remember long ago, and I needed a new car, and so I asked. I kind of just put it up there. I think I just said I need a new car, and not long after that, my car was stolen. And it's very rare for a car to be stolen and to be found the very next day. Mine was. So that allowed me to purchase a new car like the next day. It was really strange. But I kind of put that out there and never ever thought about it again. And that's kind of what it is, but I knew that that's what I wanted in my heart of my hearts, is that I wanted a new car. So now we're going into the relationship part of the reading. And the first card that comes up is Unrequited Love. So this brings 2 possibilities with it, and it's one being that a relationship that you've been in is, there's just not enough attraction or chemistry to keep that relationship going. Now, with this card, it's not the not for wanting. Look at the relationship and see if it is. Perhaps you've been rejected, or perhaps you've rejected them, and understand the reasons for or why. But maybe it's opening you up to something that's better. That's that World card. It may be opening you up to much more. And it could also be opening you up to much more within that person, because we're, moving towards that Nine of Cups. The next card, okay, comes into play is the Challenge card, which is finances and career. So it may not actually be the reason for the unrequited love. It's possible that one or both is working on their finances and getting their career moving, or that's, moving forward. That's where they're going. So they may have rejected you because perhaps they didn't think they were good enough, or perhaps that, there may have been a lot of different thoughts, but you may have also been putting out that energy as well. And so if it's about financial issues and career, allow that process. But it's about being really, truly honest. Yes, because it's really saying that stay optimistic about your love life. So, the way we think, our vibration, our, manifestation, you're able to learn to look and to see and to manifest all, that you want within your relationship. Okay, so the messages that come up, you can manifest all that you want within a relationship, all of those values and dreams and wishes, all of them, not just some of them, but the ones that are so important to you, that those are the I'm not going to, sacrifice that, because that is a value that I hold. And so this person really does worry about you two a lot. And I guess that's because they rejected you. And the next card is the card of no. And, and it's being highlighted, honestly. It is the card of no. And so that's what they may have said. So because of that, they worry. And they may not have. Anyway, they're in a position that they really are still, they're down on themselves. And it says, sometimes I wonder if you care. Well, when you're looking back at how the relationship got to be where it's at, although they worry about you a lot, they've got to realize where that's all come. And they have so many fears, so many doubts. Your family won't like me. Well, that's only because they don't like them. So it's time they have decisions to make, and making those decisions are up to them. It's their life. You have to continue along your own journey at this time. They're just not in a position to be, I just keep pulling dumb cards, sorry. They're not in the position to make the change that they want to at this moment. And that doesn't mean it's not going to change. That's just the energy. That's just the energy of it. Right now, they're still sitting in that fear, which you are working towards. So I'm going to pick out just a couple of these cards. That card. There we go. Okay, so further messages from them. From the masculine energy, the cards are, oh my gosh, my mental health is struggling. Okay, so from, you know what, they're sitting in a space that they really understand what they did, but they're so concerned about all of this stuff. This unrequited love is so much about how they feel about themselves. And the next card is from them is, I know you, I hurt you. And so they do know, and they really, really get that. But they've got to leap out of that. You can't push them out of it. They have to figure that out on their own. So allow them that grace to do so. the final message from them is nobody understands me like you do. That reminds me of that song, nobody loves you like I do. Baby, you're the one. It's actually not a good song. It's anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, so because of all this past that you two have gone through, and you know, self-doubt, self-worth, all of these self things, and so your first message is, are you moving on? So that's your fear, that they're, you know, you've been rejected, and yet you don't feel like that because, you know, you're listening to your message, you're trying to heal yourself and listen to your heart, but you still understand. And again, now this one says, I know I let you down. So you as well. And I because I think this is so so reflective of two people that were sitting in an energy that just was not who they truly were. And so your message is, why do you need me? Oh, and the exact same message that they are asking you or telling you is, nobody understands me like you do. Isn't that interesting? So you feel like home, and it's always been you. So I think your heart knows, but I think there's work to do, and I think there's an allowance. And I'm not saying an allowance that's going to take, you know, forever and ever. I'm just saying right now there's an allowance. So you need to allow it to transpire, it to happen. You need to allow the universe to, you know, do its job for you to see what you truly want, to you to be who you truly know you can be, and sit in that energy. So that's the reading for today, and I thank you very, very, very much for being here, from my heart to yours. Namaste. And again, if you like my readings, then please subscribe, hit the like button, and share if possible, because my goal really is to reach as many people as possible. I am the High Priestess Oracle, and I am grateful for what I do, and I thank you, and have an incredible day. Namaste, much love, and God bless.